PYX 106.
It's 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Our buddy Paul Harding on the phone from Martin Harding and Mazzotti. Happy holidays, Paul.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, guys. Back at you.
Hey, we want to talk about Shen School District's been in the news because of their transgender policy, and so we saw a story, I think in Maine, and we sent you a copy, hoping you could get into it a little bit for us about a student who sued the school district for $75,000 for discrimination.
They made her use a teacher's bathroom, not the bathroom of her choice.
What did you get out of that, Paul?
Well, this whole thing, Shenandoah sort of passed that resolution recently, and it was with a group of people, and they're kind of discussing it. And the general theme is that if someone identifies themselves as being transgender, which of course they're kind of they're identifying themselves with a gender that's different than the way that they were born with, then you end up in a situation where the Shenandoah said, "Hey, we're going to allow them to go to the bathroom where they think that they belong, sexual orientation speaking," and didn't really make a lot of sense when we were kind of talking about it. And now this Maine statute came out, and ultimately this person was awarded $75,000 because it violated the Human Rights Act. And then I took a look around the country, and that's what's happening. Different folks are kind of stepping forward and saying, "Hey, this is a violation of our human rights," and they're bringing claims and they're winning the claim. So I think Shenandoah took a look at this and said, "Look, we're not in a good position. If someone does bring a claim and we're not providing proper access to the bathrooms, that we're going to get dinged. We're going to get hit on this." So they sort of acted preemptively. They didn't wait for the lawsuit to come around.
So there's no they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart over there at Shen. They're doing it to protect the bottom line, probably. Huh?
Well, it could be a combination of things, but one of the motivating factors with change can often be the fact that if you don't change, there's going to be some financial fallout. And that seems to be the case here. Now, New York State doesn't have a rule specifically on point, as Maine does, that says that transgender is a protected right under the Sexual Discrimination Act. So Maine does. Maine actually names that specifically.
That blows me away, by the way, that Maine has it, but New York doesn't.
Yeah,
we don't. But the Assembly has passed a bill 7 times. The Senate hasn't passed it, which you need both, of course, and the governor said he'll sign it. So they think it's coming, and I think Shenandoah just sort of saw an opportunity to get ahead of it.
All right, so right now, though, technically, New York doesn't have the same law as Maine. So right now, technically, you couldn't bring a lawsuit against the school district. Is that right? They get that right?
You could bring one, but you wouldn't have it. Yes, it's not specifically stated in the statute that transgender folks are protected. Okay. There is a human rights law about sexual discrimination, but it's not specific to them as Maine is. So you'd have a more difficult time bringing the claim. And as I looked at this, I didn't see any claims that were successful throughout the state of New York. So to answer your question, you probably would not be successful. But if this bill passes, and it looks like it might, that would be clear, on point, and all schools would then have to make arrangements for folks who feel that they're in a difficult position as they're wandering around school trying to decide which bathroom to go into.
Help me out here, Paul. It's Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti. So you mentioned a couple times the human rights law. Who's under that umbrella? Is everyone under that umbrella?
All humans.
Yeah, there's the big 4. It's sex, sexual discrimination, race, age, and religion. So what they're doing is they're taking the sexual discrimination piece and adding a little subsection to it, specifically protecting the transgender folks. And right now, there's an argument that they are protected, but Maine statute specifically identifies them and identifies they need to be in the proper facility. And you can't say, "Hey, you can use the teacher's bathroom." That's what they were doing. They're saying, well, and that's what people wanted. Actually, they're saying, well, if they're not comfortable in either bathroom, then let's use a specific bathroom one-on-one. And of course, by definition, that's a discrimination, and you're going to just feel even strange, odd, or just say, "I can't go in any bathroom. I'm the one allowed to use the faculty bathroom." So that was the fix, and turned out to be the wrong fix.
All snowflakes are made out of snow, Cantera, but none of them are alike.
I know, but who could check that?
What do you mean?
Well, you can't check every snowflake.
They're all different. Okay. They're all different.
All right, well, this is good, Paul. This is very topical, and this is very good information that we learned yesterday, and it's been expanded on here on the show. So we appreciate the time this morning, Paul.
Quinn and Cantera, like a flaming arrow. through a wet goat. Mornings on PYX 106.